All right, welcome one and all to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. We're heading into the weekend. Brian's got his coffee. It seems like we're ready to go. How you doing today, buddy?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm up early.
You're up early. You're always up
Well,
early.
I'm
Your
always
whole
up
life
early,
is
but
early. What
there
is
you
a
go.
sleep-in day for you? 6?
Oh man, I'd be behind schedule if I got up at 6.
Oh man, I'm getting tired just hearing about your schedule. All right, but let's delve into the beautiful world of baseball. Being Red Sox fans like we are, we got a big series. We're 3.5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays. We're looking up at our nemesis, the Yankees, 3 games behind. We have a big weekend series in Fenway. Giolito on the bump. Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs last night to tie the great Joe DiMaggio. Where do you think, let's just start off with looking at the hated Yankees. Where do you think Judge is finally going to rest in the pantheon of greats with Yankees?
With Yankees, it's
Yeah,
going to determine, well, unfortunately for him, with Yankees, it's all going to come down to championships.
sure.
I mean, if you look at the statistics alone from the career that Alex Rodriguez was just with the Yankees, it's some pretty substantial numbers. And he only had that one year where they won a championship. And he ain't remembered as a great Yankee.
Let me ask you this. I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. I think the biggest point we can compare him to is Don Mattingly, who was spectacular for a 10-year run. I mean, there back then the debate was who's better, Mattingly or Boggs, in the American League, and he never got a title, and I think that really sullied him in the eyes. Yankee fans remember him very fondly, but they don't put him in the pantheon of this is a great guy. I don't, and I'm going to say I didn't do the research on this. I don't even think they've retired his number. I'm not sure. Maybe you know.
Yeah, maybe they haven't. I don't think so. The Yankees retire a lot of numbers. I mean, does the
Yeah,
guy have a, and he's not a Hall of Famer,
right.
so he's probably not out in Monument Park.
No,
I mean, he only made the playoffs once. I mean,
but they were
how many?
so bad.
I know, but that's the thing with the
I agree.
Yankees.
I agree.
Everything
No,
is
no.
everything is based on championships.
Hell, if he
So
was a Red Sox,
Mattingly,
he'd be out there. He'd have his own foul pole. Go ahead.
yeah, Mattingly was unbelievably awesome, and
Hmm.
he was just stuck in a bad run of teams. Uh, Aaron Judge has had a few chances in the playoffs, but I just think bottom line for Yankees, it's titles. So it's good. The Yankees are going to have to get a couple for him to really be up there, and he'll have the statistics,
Sure.
but he might not have the allure and
He doesn't have the
reverence
jewelry.
of,
He doesn't have the jewelry.
yeah.
Right.
So that's what it's
I
going
mean,
to come down to for him.
yeah. He's in a great franchise. They made him the captain. But in New York, it is amazing. I'm always astonished how the Yankees were able to win in a city where almost no other professional sports franchise can win. And I think it's because of the pressure of the media and the fans, but they have found that key, let's call it a key, where they can just churn out titles. We know they haven't won one in 16 years. Thank God. Let's hope for another 60. Let them get an 80 plus year run like the Red Sox had, okay? But let's get into Fenway. What are you looking for in this series?
If if the season holds the way it's going, the Red Sox should sweep 3 games. Uh, the Red Sox have dominated the Yankees this year, but this is one of those things where it's like, I mean, how many times have we seen the Red Sox on the precipice of taking over from the
Yeah.
Yankees late in the season, and the Yankees will just come in and kick
Yep.
their ass?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a critical series for sure. I mean, even if neither team is going to catch Toronto, which it's getting pretty late, 3.5 games is a pretty good lead this late in the season.
Sure
It's
is.
going to be hard to catch. But these two teams are neck and neck right now, and we're talking
Right.
about that number one wild card seed.
and
So
that's huge.
that is huge. Uh, so the Red Sox better win 2 out of 3 at home in this series.
The Red
They should
Sox
have
have,
Giolito, you said, is going today. They should have
yes.
Crochet going tomorrow, right?
Let's look. Let's
If
look at
not
the.
tomorrow, Sunday for sure.
Let's see
He'll
who
be
we
pitching
got going
Tuesday, I
tomorrow.
think.
We got Brian Bello against Max Fried on Saturday, your favorite pitcher. And on Sunday, this is going to be the night game, I'm sure. We've got Will Warren against Garrett Crochet. So we have
Yeah,
we have a we have a big advantage in two of the three matchups with starting pitching.
they have their 3 best pitchers going at home in a must-win series.
Yeah,
So let's see what they're made of.
we'll see. They right now for anybody who cares, Toronto has obviously almost 100% chance of getting to the playoffs. Yankees are 99.4. We are 95.2. It does seem like it's all shaped up because Detroit's locked up theirs. The West is where everything kind of gets kind of crazy. And Seattle's 92% to make the playoffs. They are actually a better chance than Houston, who's at 77% because they have I think a series next week with the Astros. I know the Rangers do. And the Rangers, this surprises me. They're only 2 games back, but they only have a 27% chance of making the playoffs. So I guess that I don't understand that formula because I thought 7 teams get in, but oh, I guess that, yeah, okay. 3 from the East, one, four, five, six. Well, they should be able to get in, but the numbers are the numbers, right?
Who
All
knows?
right.
And the Yankees
Yeah,
do have the easiest schedule
they do.
to finish out the year. So
Of
you
course they
almost got
do.
to think they are a lock, which is why they have such a high percentage.
Sure. Sure. Well, Baltimore's at zero point 0.1, and so are the Angels. So we got that going on. Let's talk about we live in Southern California. We are inundated with everything that is Dodger. And the Dodgers this week, I understand they were playing the pathetic Colorado Rockies, but Snell and Glass now look sharp. I'm starting to wonder and what your feelings are. Do you think the Dodgers staff is starting to overcome the injuries and rounding into form, ready for the playoffs?
Well, by overcoming injuries, do you mean they're not hurt anymore?
Yeah, let's say
Okay.
that. I was
Well,
trying to be
then
eloquent. I failed.
the guys that were on the injured list are coming off of the injured list. So good for the Dodgers and good for the Dodger fans. I still
Yes.
think the team is my whole thing with the Dodgers, as I said at the very beginning of the year, is they're very top heavy.
Yep.
And uh, I don't know if it's going to play out uh, in the playoffs any better than it has during the regular season. They're not a great team on the road. I mean, you look at a team like the Brewers, who they're going to have to go up against. The Brewers are just so solid. It's
They
like they
are.
never have a bad game.
Right.
Even the games they lose, they play well.
Yeah.
And they don't have a bunch of big name stars. And
No.
for whatever reason, the critics almost knock them down a notch because they don't have star power. But star power doesn't win games. You don't get extra points for having, a former MVP on your team.
Absolutely.
You go out there and you got to play games. And the Brewers do it better than anyone this year.
No doubt, top to bottom. And I do think there's a lot of media bias, right? I mean, they want to feed the big ecosystems, the Philadelphia's, the Boston's, New York's, the LA's, right? I mean, it's something that
Absolutely.
San Diego's had to deal with forever, right?
I mean, even the Cubs are getting more in the Central,
Sure.
you know, than the
Yeah.
Brewers. And the
Yeah,
Cubs aren't going to
absolutely.
be an easy team to get through either for one of these wild card teams.
No, no, no. Let me ask you this. Who do you like with 2.5 weeks to go? Who do you like in the National League and the American League to meet up in the World Series?
The American League is still a crapshoot, and I might end up saying believe it or not, Toronto at this point.
Wow. That surprises the bejesus out of me. Okay.
I know.
Toronto.
I'm always going to bring something to the table.
Yeah, you do. You
Here's
bring a lot.
here's why. Here's why. If you look at the metrics, and I haven't looked at all the numbers lately, but I have looked at them recently. Toronto is like one of the league leaders in less strikeouts. Like they strike
Right.
out the least. They
Correct.
put the ball in play. They have they have really solid pitching. Actually, Max Scherzer has actually pitched pretty dang good since
Yeah.
he's come back for them. And he's a
Yes.
guy I thought was done. And
Yes.
Shane Bieber hasn't looked too bad coming back from his surgeries. I mean, what
Mm-hmm.
a tremendous pickup, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
from Cleveland.
yeah, they have some really solid pitching, and they put the ball in play a lot. They don't strike out. Those are the things that win in the playoffs. So
I'm just gonna go over run differential. You're absolutely right, because there's something there. The run differential is obviously what you score versus what you allow. The Blue Jays are at plus 71. Let's look at the Yankees. They're at plus 126. The Red Sox are at plus 107. Let's go down to Tampa Bay. They're in the Toronto area. They're at plus 51, which I said Toronto's plus 71, and they're actually 12 games behind. I mean, there's something magical happening in Toronto that it defies kind of the analytics a little. And I think to your point, they're playing an old school type of baseball, maybe. Is that what you're saying?
well, I think what it comes down to is they might not blow you out 8-1, but they're going to beat you 6-4.
Right.
And a lot of, and I would rather have, I mean, think about it. You win 8-1, you lose 3-4. You win seven
Right.
to two, you lose 5-6. You know what I mean? Your run
Sure.
differential is going to be huge, but you just played 4 games and you're 2-2.
Right.
So run
Right.
differential, sure you can look at it and say, wow, these guys really outscore their opponents. But do they do it all in occasional blowouts? That's what the Yankees do.
Yeah. They do.
So
They
so
do.
Toronto doesn't have that overpowering, three guys hitting 2 home runs a game,
Hmm.
but they just put the ball in play, they score runs, they move batters around base. I mean, they're just doing the job. Very similar to, the way the Brewers are doing it. They're just winning the games.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. It's definitely team effort, right? It's more of a team instead of a top heavy thing like you alluded to. Um, who do you like in the National League?
Ah, I still want to root for the Phillies. I know
Yeah, I
we're
do
not talking
too.
about who am I rooting for, but who am I picking?
No. Yeah, yeah. And you
But
can say
it's
both.
I'm pulling for the Phillies, but uh, I mean they got to get. We know Zach Wheeler's gone,
Right.
but they got to get Trey Turner back in there. That dude's leading the league in hits,
Yeah.
and he's just. I mean, he's a guy that gets on base and makes things happen for the Phillies, and we know because we've seen it in the past. Bryce Harper is a postseason stud, and so is
Clutch.
Schwarber. So they get in there with those two big bats. I mean, you got to like them.
Well, and they
It's
have a
just going to be
solid
tough.
lineup. Yeah, they got
They
such
do
a
have
solid Real Muto, and I mean, they're tough top to bottom, right? I
and
mean,
I think they're the difference. I think the reason I would lean towards favoring them over the Brewers, even though I just talked about how great the Brewers are, is I think there's something to the fact that the Phillies are a more veteran team. They got a lot of guys in their 30s who might be looking at this going, man, this might be our last chance. We got to
right,
step it up
right.
because, Schwarber's a free agent.
Yep.
Harper's getting a little older. Realmuto's getting a little older. You know what I mean? These guys
Yeah,
might be thinking, we got to do something here or they're going to break us up and reload. So
absolutely.
I think there's something to that mentality that the Phillies might have in their back pocket that might help project them forward once the playoffs start. We'll see.
So you like Toronto and the Phillies? Is that what I'm
I,
right now? We're gonna
today.
revamp.
Today.
Yeah, today, right? That could it could change at any
Hey,
moment. I
hey, let's do another
yes.
podcast on Monday.
Yeah, right. There's always another pod. There's always another pod. I really still, even though they've had more ups and downs than a roller coaster at Six Flags, I like Detroit because of the top two starters at the top, Scooball and Mize. I think that's going to be tough. I will say this in the American League, the number two team, yeah, and I know I'm biased. I like the Red Sox. I'm telling you, every time they throw Crochet out there, man, that guy is giving you 7 or 8 innings, and good luck, man. You're swimming upstream, right?
Hey, yeah, I mean that's a, and we've seen teams with two great starters win the World Series.
Absolutely. The
We
Arizona
have seen that
Diamondbacks. Yeah.
100%. Uh, the thing with the Red Sox that I just can't get behind them 100% is they're just too inconsistent. Like I said, every with the Red Sox, everything's based on the next series because they
Yeah.
could look so great, and then they'll come in and they'll let the Orioles take 2 out of 3, or something
Absolutely.
like that. So they're just a little too inconsistent for me to jump on. Here's the thing you got to keep in mind too is once we go to the postseason, you mentioned Detroit and their two starters. I think it's going to come down to the manager who has enough stones to let his starter go into the seventh and eighth inning. Because the thing that happens by the time you get to the postseason, every team's bullpen is fried.
Right.
And what do they do in the postseason? They ramp up the bullpen use.
Sure.
Starters get
Yeah.
pulled at the third inning if they've given up 2 runs.
Sure.
And
Well, then,
I think it's going to come down to what starters are going to have the longest leash from their managers to where, okay, if he gives up 2 runs in the third inning, is he still going to keep him in the game and let him go because he had one bad inning? Let him go into the seventh because he's not going to give up any more runs. That's the
well,
magic question.
then you answered your own question because I know the faith as Red Sox fans we have in Alex Cora. We might as well give us the ring now because he's just so great at managing that bullpen. God, Brian. Oh, you made my whole weekend. Thank you. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Do you got any? What are you thinking about in Major League Baseball, real quick, before we get out of this? Bondugal.
Uh, I'm waiting for a FaceTime call this weekend from my son Wyatt because he's going to be
Yes.
at Fenway Park for one of the games this weekend.
Oh, how fantastic. How fantastic. To
Little son
see
of a
them
bitch.
play the Yankees. Oh, man. I can't even imagine what those tickets run. Oh, Sam Hill, man. Oh, God dang, to be in Fenway. I've never seen a game there. I took a tour there, but it's like I don't know if you ever seen that movie The Town, the Ben Affleck thriller, where they go through Fenway and they rob Fenway, and it's like, you know, they've robbed our souls so many times, and John Henry, God, he just keeps taking more and more. It's okay if one of the gangsters from Charlestown takes him down a little. That's all I got to say. Good for you, Ben.
All
Take
right.
down the cash, right? All right, that's it today for the Off the Rail Sports Podcast. If you like, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Go ahead, feel free. I've had quite the week with the trolls. And leave a comment. And we'll see you soon on Off the Rails Sports Podcast.
Cheers.